train pulls away from Paris, and you are in luxury accommodation. You're in first class. Mortimer and Morgan are sharing a 2-berth cabin, and Maddie has a 1-berth next door. As you board the train, you can see you've got this luxurious sleeping car. There's also a dining car and a general saloon car for passing the time during your journey. And as you board your train with the heavy suitcase in tow, you see various other individuals getting on the train, and they all look very sort of well-dressed people. As you get on in Paris, there's probably about 5 or so other people in your same first class compartment as you. You're getting on at Paris. You don't have much chance to sort of talk to them as you're getting on. You've had a bit of a rush around sending messages and looking for Franco. You can make out there appears to be a pair of young sisters travelling together. A man and wife. A doctor with a very excessive beard, even for the time. And a woman in her 50s wearing this quite sort of unusual looking hat and dressed just a hint of her eccentricness to her dress, but still clearly wealthy. And they board the train alongside you. And just as the train is pulling out the station, one man jumps on sort of last minute, like heavily breathing, like almost missed the train. Hold on. Held up. And he shows his ticket to the conductor and is shown to his cabin. The first day of your travel passes well. You have plenty of time to talk, either in your own cabin or in the public spaces, should you wish. If there's any matters that need addressing as the train heads on its way towards its next major stop, which is Strasbourg.
Maddie is going to take her knitting into the public car, and when she's not eating or sleeping, she'll knit there. If either of her companions like to join her, she will gladly try to teach them.
As in your society companions, or other ones?
The society companions. If they wish to join me, I will gladly teach them. I am in the public car mostly to, one, knit, but also to observe the other people to suss out if they are going to poke their noses where they don't need to be.
Okay. So you're trying to engage them in conversation, or you're just trying to listen in and just... Okay. So yeah, as you see, as you're in the public car, you see the 2 sisters also sat there, sort of heads bent together. One of them seems to be reading a book, and the other is doing some embroidery. Occasionally, they sort of converse together in French. If you want to try and sort of listen in and understand what it's saying, you can give me a listen roll or a French roll. Oh, we have lost her.
Uh-oh, did I press the wrong button? I pressed the wrong button. I'm sorry.
That's alright, we'll go you back. I thought we'd lost you there for a moment. It's all right. The technical demons are here with us tonight. I introduced them.
Okay. I think I'll go with the listening roll rather than the French roll.
Okay. Give me a listen roll.
That is a success.
Okay.
A precise success.
So you catch with your standard French, you catch enough of the conversation to get that they're traveling together to Vienna to visit a family member there. They seem fairly sort of well-to-do, but this is one of the sisters seems very keen to go. The other seems to have been sent along mainly as a companion to make sure that the younger sister was not traveling alone. You don't get their surnames, but you do get that the younger one is called Augustine, and the older one is Louise.
You said Augustine and Louise?
Yes. And yeah, they glance over a couple of times in your direction, but they don't seem particularly nosy or curious about you. Over the... I realise I forgot one of my people when introducing it. Over the other side of the cabin, you see a young man with a bunch of paperwork in front of him, and a fairly early morning glass of sherry. He's sort of sipping at sherry and seems to browse the road as he flips through his paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
Chewing on the end of his pen. As Maddie is in the saloon car, where are Morgan and Mortimer? What are they doing with their time as the train heads on its way?
We grabbed the morning paper before we jumped on the train. Was there anything interesting about events of that evening mentioned?
Yes, there has been a vile a vile robbery at the house of a Mr. Peril. He was grievously injured during the attack, and his servant was killed.
So the story doesn't say anything about him dying?
Not in the story, no. It's
That's
a very
unfortunate.
brief story. There's not really much on it. It just says... In fact, it probably wouldn't even have names in it. It was just say that there was an incident on Rue Veron. A homeowner was grievously injured and his servant killed. It's not much beyond that. It seems to be a robbery.
Nothing about
The
cheese.
police are following down all leads, trying to track down the assailants.
No mention of cheese?
No mention of cheese. I know. So somewhere out there, there's this. This is the respectable paper, okay? Somewhere out there, the French equivalent of Franco is busy typing up, the much more exciting. In fact, it could even be Franco. Typing up the much more exciting cheese-related story. But no, this, for now, is just a brief mention.
Yeah, I think Mortimer would need to have a quick word with Morgan about something before we probably make it to the public area of the train, which I think is called... Is it the salon, or... It'll be the salon, won't it?
Yes. Yeah, you've got the dining car for when meals are served. There's also sort of a salon bar,
Piano and...
Yeah, it's got a piano, it's got comfortable chairs, you can sort of sit and while away the time. There is a bar, it usually doesn't open till later in the day. But, you're wealthy. If you, or at least someone paying for your tickets is, if you ask, then it will probably be provided.
Well, at least, Morgan, at least we got out of there. That was quite close.
Yeah, it was. It was really close.
According to the paper, the homeowner, well, I'll point out the article doesn't mention anything about him dying, so he may have survived.
That's going to be the problem.
It is, but there's no witnesses. I don't think anyone would be able to identify us.
Let's just hope so.
So,
If I could have chosen, I think I would have preferred the butler alive and he dead. If I could have chosen.
if I wasn't too busy laughing, I probably would have made sure he was dead. But we had to get out of there quickly.
What's got into you? Why were you laughing like that?
I'm not sure the best way to explain this, but I'll be completely honest. That's the best way I feel, anyway. When we heard him try the front door, I sort of peeked through the curtains in the floor above, and I cast a spell at him. And it was quite a high cost to my mental health, is the best way to put it. And I couldn't stop laughing afterwards.
You know how I feel about magic. One day it's going to cost you a lot. You know that.
I do, but I also knew how dangerous he was and felt we had to make sure he didn't get up again. I felt that was the only... We got one shot and I took it. I've got no plan to use magic again, but we shall have to see how things go with that.
I'm not going...
It's the last resort.
Listen. I don't like magic. You know how I feel about it. But you saved my life a few times thanks to it. So I'm not like... It doesn't make me angry like it used to do, because I know that some people can use it and not be bad at the same time. But be careful.
Oh, I'm planning to have a long rest once we return to London to recover. It's not something I like, casting magic. It worked, but I've only ever cast it twice, and both times were emergencies, and that's the only time I plan to use it. But something about this whole trip doesn't make sense to me at the moment. Do you know why we're taking this item to Constantinople?
That's that. I think that's a question we'll have to ask to Maddie.
We will have to. But I'm curious because you remember the crystal cube we had?
Oh yeah, the cube.
And I had wanted to effectively dip it in black paint to make sure it couldn't be used and seal it away somewhere so no one could get it. And Maddie was rather insistent we kept it at the society and it was all kept together because she felt it was the safest place. But now she doesn't want these items kept together because of it being dangerous. That's the bit that doesn't make sense, but it's a nice train at least, and I'm sure we'll get some more answers on this journey.
Yeah, that's the only thing we can do.
I really wanted to try and find Franco, but we really didn't have time.
I've got a question for the keeper. Would it have been possible for Morgan to send a telegram to Augustus?
Yes, it would have been.
I would have done that.
Okay.
Yeah, I know we were in a hurry, but I took the liberty to send a telegram to Augustus and explain the situation.
I'm wondering if he had the same dream that I had. Franco. That night, well, last night, in fact, before, I had a strange dream of a figure wearing a mask. Like just a face mask over the front of the face, and it was made out of the same stuff that arm was. And I was lying on some sort of altar, and effectively he was flaying the skin away from my body with this knife and cutting me open, basically, and then I woke up.
Oh, that's strange.
It is. I'm sure
you
it's
rem-
not connected to anything.
Do you remember the house, the cultist house we have
The bomb-
we burned down? You know, with you remember we were facing a strange creature.
Yes. The serpent thing that was black.
But some not. Yeah, it's a strange figure. I couldn't see it quite much, but before leaving, this creature told me that we will meet again. And it happens sometimes. I can see this creature in my dream as well. Is it a warning? Is it just a dream because of everything we are facing? But
Well, one thing I want to do is study a bit more and try to create some sort of perhaps protective necklaces. If you read folklore and stuff, there are meant to be protective charms and things like that can protect you when you're dreaming and at night. I'm just curious whether I'll be able to find something that we could possibly make, some sort of small protective amulets that'll protect us whilst we rest, or just protect us, maybe ward our properties and protect them. But that is something I'll have to learn over time.
if you need money or something,
I think
that.
Leads to not lose my mind. I think that's the key thing.
Yeah, but if you need money for items or something, don't hesitate to tell me. I will be able to finance at least a little.
We'll just see how it goes, but that's the main reason I'm studying magic, is to try and learn ways to protect ourselves against things we might encounter. But should we see who else is on this train and make our way to the salon?
A coffee would be nice.
I think I'll probably start on the brandy.
Okay, so you make your way through to the salon where there's Maddie knitting, two French sisters huddled together, the man with all his paperwork, and as you enter, the man who almost missed the train is also there at the bar getting a cup of coffee. Gives you a little nod. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Morning.
Ah, Englishman.
No, Scottish.
Sorry. An Englishman, a Scotsman, and a Frenchman walk up to a bar.
That's a good one.
The next one. Thank you. Where are you two gentlemen headed to?
Constantinople, I believe.
Oh, going all the
Under
way.
the line.
Ah. Likewise, I think. Yes.
I've heard there's quite a museum in Constantinople. I'm curious about perhaps a library of some fashion there.
Oh, well, afraid I'm just there for matters of boring business, trade partners out that way.
What sort of business? Anything interesting? Or
Oh, shit. It would bore you. Import, export.
I know that sort of
Mostly
industry.
fabrics, carpets, all sorts of things. There's quite the market for carpets in Paris these days.
There is. I used to be involved with import and exporting from the Far East. But now I've settled down. But now I've settled down to run my own bookstore in London.
Well, very nice. Jean Basson, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Dr. Mortimer Davenport. Sound.
A medical man?
I am.
Quite the multi-talented gentleman. Book dealer, medical man. Dealer in exotic goods. Well,
I try to keep myself busy.
well, I've got a table just, well, I say I've got a table. I've nabbed the table in the corner with the best view.
You must have got an
Super.
Did you get that seat?
No, I almost missed the train. There's some quite A bizarre incident in Paris last night.
I read something in the paper about that. I grabbed a copy of the morning paper on my way in.
Ah, well, the paper missed the important details. A madwoman wielding a wheel of cheese. I know. Sounds like a joke. But
It could be.
I had it. My brother works in the police, and he said that there's multiple eyewitnesses. But,
Just sounds a strange story. Madwoman with cheese, not a lover of the homeowner, perhaps?
maybe.
It's
But yeah, I
pretty
got caught
good.
up with that sort of business last night, and yeah, almost missed the train.
I didn't know you could hurt somebody with camembert.
Ah, no. Parmesan.
The wheel would certainly do
The
some
most
damage.
dangerous of cheeses.
That could do the damage, indeed.
Good for a good wrench. Anyway, I won't keep you gentlemen from your drink
Okay,
any
I'm
longer.
just curious, where are you travelling to, or which stop?
Oh, Constantinople.
Well, it's very likely we'll have an opportunity to talk more on the journey.
Yes, it is a long way.
That it is.
Yes. And he
And,
takes his coffee and goes to
order a
the table.
brandy at the bar. And have a look around. The gentleman with all the papers, is he nearby, or?
Yeah, he is sat at one of the tables near the bar.
What do the papers look like?
Give me a spot hidden check, please.
I'm just curious whether, like, accountancy type ones or something else. Let's see.
From this distance, you can't really see. You'd have to
Make it obvious that I'm looking.
yeah. Well, you can push this roll by getting closer. If you fail it, it'll be very obvious that you're like peering over his shoulder.
I don't think I'll make it obvious. I don't think I'll be that nosy. I was just curious. But I'll wander to where Maddie is, actually, towards where Maddie's sitting, to join her. It'd be rude not to.
Oh, yes.
Hello again, Dr. Davenport.
Hey, good morning. Did you sleep well?
Yes, fairly well. Still a bit sore.
Well, if you...
It was quite a tumble I took.
It was. I can always have another look at those dressings and treat you later should you require any further attention.
Thank you. Yes, my ankle is quite a bit of pain today.
But at least it's healing well. It could have been much worse. I was just reading the morning paper, and I would have brought the paper with me to the salon, about some incident. Some homeowner got assaulted. His servant killed some sort of vicious robbery in Paris, and it says about here how he had been attacked.
My goodness.
But,
Are they all right?
I'm not sure. The gentleman I was just speaking to at the bar. Keeper, I can't remember his name, so I didn't make it.
Jean Passant.
Let's see. Just one sec. Jean Basson. He's got a brother in the police, and apparently there were multiple witnesses of some mad woman attacking someone with a wheel of cheese. But I'm just curious. You might have more information whether the gentleman survived or not. That sounds like a brutal crime.
Wow. I am quite shocked that that could happen.
But I'll have another word with the gentleman a bit later and find out whether the gentleman survived. But I believe he's travelling to Constantinople as well on business. He's involved in import and export of fabrics and carpets and items.
Fabrics.
Certainly profitable. You get some interest in not fabrics from Constantinople.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, your conversation is cut short as another figure bustles their way past you into the salon car, and you see it's the older woman you saw getting on the train.
The one that had the peculiar dress?
Yes. Excuse me, might be. Oops, sorry there, I didn't see you.
No trouble. And I'll move aside to...
No, I didn't mean to interrupt, sir. Carry on.
Okay.
A mint tea and a brandy, please.
But, yeah, it sounded like it's quite an eventful evening in Paris, that night.
Hmm. Oh, I'm glad that we were in a safe place.
That we were. Do you have a name of the gentleman we're meeting in Constantinople?
Not that I can remember exactly. I know that he was an acquaintance of my uncle's. The name, I want to say starts with a J, but I just cannot remember at the moment. I'm hoping to remember by the time we get there.
Oh, well, don't worry. I'm sure your memory will improve by the time we get there. We've got quite a long journey ahead of us. But we probably need to talk about what happened. It was a very confusing time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit of a bad rush to catch the train.
Unfortunately, yes, I thought we were going to be late. Luckily, we got here in time.
That we did.
I forgot to tell you, Maddie. Had the opportunity to send a telegram to Augustus to let him know about Franco. Because if you can catch the lads, will be preferable, I think.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I mean, I've told James about our plans, but I told him that days ago. Hopefully, poor Franco has decided to return home rather than, I don't know. He didn't seem quite well. Maybe this trip was nerve-wracking for him.
A bit more taxing on the mind, I believe. Certainly I found it stressful.
You know what I find to relieve stress? And I lift up my knitting needles and the little square I'm working on. And knitting actually has helped me relieve some stress and tensions, and I think it might work for you.
You never know.
Knitting is very good in most circumstances. I agree with that. The woman leans over into the conversation once more.
I usually lose myself in a book, but
Unfortunately, I don't have many
too.
books.
I clean guns.
I have some spare needles and yarn if you'd like to learn.
well, it is a long journey, so who knows what the journey may bring.
All right, well, let me know if you are interested and I will begin to teach you if you'd like.
Okay. So the morning winds on. The other passengers getting on with their activities. Lunch is served in the dining car. and you catch a glimpse of the other travellers who you hadn't spoken to yet. You see the bearded man picks up a large, heavy book and goes and settles himself in one corner. You can see the title in passing is Flora and Fauna of Anatolia. And eventually, at lunch is your first glimpse, actually, of the young couple who you saw getting on the train this morning. They take lunch together and then disappear off once more. But as the afternoon winds on, is there anything you would like to do? Any important conversations to be had or information to be gained? Or
I think I would have taken a book about Constantinople to learn about a little about it. About a little about history, but more about logistic. You know, what can we, where to stay, all this kind, how to travel.
yeah, you're reading up on the information. Yeah, you'll have probably a bonus die if this sort of stuff comes up.
I'd probably be looking for a similar thing. I suspect there'll be leaflets available potentially on the trainer's guide of various destinations they stop at.
Yeah, there's probably some
Would there be something equivalent of like a tourist map
probably
with like
yes.
places to visit in the various cities?
Oh yeah, there's definitely like a next time you should do this trip again, and this is why you should visit Vienna.
It's much the same. I'll pick up information about Constantinople just to get an idea of where we're heading to.
Okay, yeah. So once again, should tourist information about Constantinople be relevant, you will have bonus dice for doing some prior research. But as evening draws near, interrupt me if there's anything else you wanted to say or do.
Probably I'd want to have a look at the piano. Is there someone at the piano playing, or is it just available there for people to use?
I'll say that they had, at one point during the afternoon, they have a piano player there for a bit, but not the whole time. No, it is available should you wish it.
Once they have no piano player there, I'll wander over to the piano and have a look to see if there's any like music books on the piano, just to look through and pretend as if I know what I'm looking at.
Like inside the stool
music,
or whatever?
Yeah, there's some sheet music there,
Sheet
like tucked
music.
away. There's like, yeah, you often keep it inside the stall.
Or the bench, I believe it's called.
I just flick through it and pretend I know what I'm looking at. I won't actually play the piano because I can't. I'll pretend I know.
As you're there flipping through, the lady in the eccentric hat, give us a tune then.
Afraid I don't play the piano, but I'm interested in music.
There's a pity.
Pleasure to meet you, and you are?
Oh, me? Lady Viola Rushley.
I'm Dr. Mortimer Davenport. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Davenport. Why does that name ring a bell? You don't have a sister called Catherine, do you?
I do.
Catherine Ward.
Lady Catherine Ward, yes.
Yeah. Yes. She mentioned, she was from the Davenports.
He was, yes.
Brother went off to India somewhere. In the army, right? No?
That would
Am
be
I
me.
confusing you with someone else?
No, it's definitely me. I spent quite some time in India.
it's on my travel list. Well, hoping to head out that way at some point.
Certainly an interesting country.
Yes, well, everywhere's more interesting than Surrey.
I don't believe I've ever been to Surrey.
Well, you're not missing anything.
I shall take your word for that.
Yes.
But yes, I was curious about the music, what sort of pieces they would have here, but looks like they've got a fair mix of everything.
Yeah. Well, you should think about learning.
I certainly should need. I should really consider picking up another hobby.
Switch over.
Oh.
See if I can still remember his bloody lessons. And she starts playing a rather nice tune on the piano. My music teacher nearly despaired of me for years, but I kept it up. Kept it up.
It does show.
My father was insistent that I wouldn't get anywhere in life without a few talents.
I should really learn something. Something along the lines of a hobby outside my work.
Yes, well, work. Can't be doing with that sort of thing myself. But, well, I'm sure we'll run into each other again. It's a long way to Constantinople.
That it is.
But, I see where you're going all the way?
I am, yes.
Well, we will keep ourselves company for many hours yet to come. And
Looking forward to it. And perhaps you could play even more music for us.
well, maybe.
If you
You
feel.
ask nicely.
Hope this journey goes well. It's certainly nice scenery meant to be on this route.
Yes. Yeah, you get a nice view of the countryside as the train trundles on its way. And then as evening falls, it stops at Strasbourg to pick up a few more passengers and let a few people off who just wanted to take a little bit of a trip. Couldn't afford to go all the way. And as it's getting dark outside the train, you see 3 people get onto your sort of section of the train. There is a young woman travelling on her own, looking nervously around as she gets on the train, carrying a suitcase, and 2 distinguished-looking mustachioed gentlemen who are boarding the train together. And Johann, as the express pulls into Strasbourg, you and Wolfgang are getting on the train. Your luggage is being loaded up by the porters, and you're shown through to your cabin. You're fairly wealthy, but Wolfgang's trying to save some money on this trip, so you agreed to a 2-berth cabin. Help him save funds without saying it to his face, probably.
Sure. Also, no need to, take up unnecessary space.
No, exactly. Well, I'm gonna go get myself something to drink. Meet me in the salon car when you're.
Sure.
Here.
We'll take a moment. Carriage ride here to here has been quite the uncomfortable situation. But yeah, I'll be out in a minute. Obviously, the whole thing in talking German, obviously.
Yes. Unless specified, while talking to each other,
These
Johann
two
and
talk
Wolfgang
German.
are talking German. So, yeah.
Semester. There we go. Yeah, I'll take a moment to, unpack a little and just find a comfortable position to rest. Because I'm assuming the way to Strasbourg was quite, since it was probably quite the ride.
Yes.
So, I mean, looking at that you would take 2 hours with a car for that distance, so it's probably 4 or 5.
You'd probably been in there for many, many hours, depending on whether you took the train or like.
I mean, assuming a lot of time in the train and maybe a bit of carriage, but yeah. And taking a moment, resting, and then getting out, getting something to eat.
But yeah, as the train pulls away from Strasbourg, there's new passengers on board. It is time for the evening meal to be served as the conductor comes round and asks everyone to make their way to the dining car if they wish to be served dinner.
I'm going to stash away my knitting and limp my way over as if I do have an ankle injury.
Okay, so is everyone else heading over to the dining car, or do you have other?
It's food time. I'm heading to have food.
Yes.
Yeah, as you make your way over, you see all the other passengers, both the ones you're familiar with and some couple of new faces, making their way, taking their seats in the dining car. There's a little buzz of conversation in various languages. There's I think it's French, German, English, all being spoken here. And for the sake of those who have not seen Johann before, how does Johann present himself? What would the others see as he and his friend head into the dining car?
Johann looks like somewhat later student age, so say like 30-ish, something like that. But already receding hairline, and a very, very tidily trimmed mustache. Blonde brown hair-ish. What's still there? And a bit of a maybe a bit of a snobbish attitude, and the kind of like self-importance a bit, the way he carries himself, but talking relatively friendly with his other companion there, over dinner and a glass of wine.
So you're discussing matters with Wolfgang. Around you can hear other clatterings of other conversations that are going on between some of the other travellers. Those of you of the society, what are you discussing over dinner? Is it mundane matters or suspicious murders?
Mundane matters, possibly considering taking up knitting.
Mundane. I will, if he has questions about knitting, I will gesture with my fork and knife to show how things are done, kind of, but obviously it's going to be very confusing because it's a fork and a knife and there's nothing attached to them. So
maybe some spaghetti.
Certainly mundane matters.
Yeah.
And perhaps the scenery in the journey.
Yeah. So after dinner, everyone sort of, you've got time to, spend a little more time in the salon car, have a couple of drinks before it's time to head to sleeping carriages, and you see everyone starts making their way over. Sort of, a lot of them still keeping sort of their original sort of groups. Some hanging around on their own. Although you do see that Lady Viola is in conversation with the bearded man. They seem to have sort of struck up a bit of a conversation together. Sat in one corner of this.
I'm curious, was she in the dining cart as well?
Yeah, she was in the dining car. Yeah.
And who was she sitting with?
In the dining car, she was eating alone, Lady Viola. But those two have now seemed having a conversation as you go past you here. Yes, but like, have you ever seen one in the flesh, like a real live tiger? Because that's what I'd quite like to see. No, only a stuffed one. But I had a friend gave me a Tasmanian wolf back from Australia once.
I'm assuming I hear this as I walk past them at some point.
Yeah.
Now, I'm dying to say something, but he's not going to.
Yeah. Everyone has made their way through into the salon car. So there's Lady Viola, the bearded gentleman, the man with all the paperwork, the French sisters, the quiet German woman, and the young couple, plus Wolfgang and Johann. So it's quite a crowded, busy carriage now. There's quite a few people.
I have to ask, the young couple,
yes.
Do they seem to ignore everyone around them a little bit?
Yes.
As if they're on their honeymoon?
They have not spoken a word to anyone else. In fact, you saw them briefly at lunch. You've not seen them at all for the rest of the journey, apart from lunch and dinner.
Wonderful. Okay, that's all I need to know. Maddie's actually going to retire to her sleeping cabin and rest a little bit because she is still quite sore.
Do have a question. Medicine rolls. Is there only the one, or can ones be done over time?
You can essentially, you can't use it sort of as a substitute for the natural healing process. Like, you will heal faster if you're under the care of a doctor. So this would count at the end of the week for being better sort of recovery if you've had the attention of a doctor the whole time, rather than just healing up on your own.
Healing.
Yes, essentially. I think it's, I'll have to check, but there's a bonus for having essentially being either in like a hospital or another like situation more conducive to healing than stuck halfway up a mountain up a tree or something.
Whatever medical attention he needs to do to speed the recovery, he'll help with.
Yes, because she has been shot.
Just a flesh wound, though.
Just a flesh wound. So Maddie has retired to her room. Shortly after Maddie, you see the young German woman also leaves and heads to her room. Doesn't seem to engage much in conversation. And yeah, the rest of you have got some time before nightfall. The sun's sort of setting, but before you need to get some sleep. If there's any, you want to entertain yourselves, there's a piano player at the moment, sort of doing a passably good job of playing the piano.
Well, Morgan, do you play cards by any chance?
No. Do play chess?
Is there a chessboard available anyway? If I were to ask the
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, if you ask, it's a chess.
should we play a game? Just pass the evening of it?
Yeah, lovely. Like to.
Why not? It's been a long time since I've played chess.
Not that we had much time to do something else lately.
In lieu of anything else, I'm going to ask for an intelligence roll of Morgan and Mortimer here. See who wins this game of chess and how close it is.
Oh. Hard success. He crushes me.
Yeah. It's an easy win for Mortimer.
And you see me scratch my scarf like, I still need to practice a little.
Best out of 3.
Okay.
We can look up a tally. And if by the end of this journey I have more wins than you have to buy me a drink. But if I have more wins than you, who knows?
Yes.
Fair.
Yeah. As you finish up your game, you see the honeymooning couple disappear once more. And yeah, it's beginning to empty out a little in the salon. In fact, the two sisters head off to bed shortly after.
Is there anyone paying a lot of attention to us?
Make me a psychology check, please.
Oh, psychology, not spot hidden. Well,
No, I think I'm going to diversify. Not everything is spot hidden. This is more about, judging their behaviours. Are they?
could I not try accountancy instead?
No.
That's fine. Well, psychology is. Let's have a look. Nope.
Yeah, people occasionally glance in your direction, and it's a small enough place that you can see everyone and then hear snatches of other conversations, even if you can't necessarily understand what they're all saying. But no one appears to be paying any particular attention to you. Yes, Johann, you see things are emptying out a little. Wolfgang goes, I'm going to go get an early night if that's all right.
Sure.
It's quite the journey.
I think I'll stick around a bit more.
Right, well, see you in the morning if you don't wake me up.
Probably not. You sleep like a stone.
At least I don't snore like you do.
See you later.
Right. And he heads off to bed.
I'll just sit around, drink maybe whiskey or something. Just maybe smoke a cigar. And yeah, let my gaze wander about the people that are still here. Trying to
yeah. You can
put them in
see
categories, basically.
There's two gentlemen sat drinking brandy at one of the tables. An older gentleman talking to the only woman left in the car. This middle-aged woman, and two other gentlemen who appeared to be playing chess at one of the tables.
Well, I'll just take my time with my drink, just calming, probably noticing Morgan's huge ass scars.
Ah, yes, yes.
You
It's
know,
very noticeable scarf that I always forget to mention.
yeah. Those are not the sort of scars that you get just by dueling with a rapier. So they're kind of impressive, but just walking up and asking is not something that Johan would do. Wolfgang didn't, so he obviously can't. There's some sort of he's got some sort of prestige to keep, so he'll just keep it calm, looking around, being intrigued, maybe looking a bit at the state of the chess game, as the game of kings, and trying to assess how it's going.
Yes. Are we going for a rematch, or is that for a future night?
I don't know.
Rematch it is.
As we say, we'll clear the board and set it up again for another game.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, I'll grab another drink from the bar.
Yes, you grab another
See for the
drink.
next game.
The piano player moves on, and Lady Viola actually takes up the position at the piano and begins to play. She seems quite uncaring at the fact that it's just her and the gentleman now. As people are smoking, there's some cigars being smoked. Definitely, you see a good man there with a cigar and a glass of. I can't remember if it's port or brandy that goes with the cigars. The appropriate drink that goes with the cigar. Yeah, she plays a tune. You can refill your drinks.
Shall we roll again for the next game?
Yeah, if you're doing a rematch, as Johan watches, you see them set up the board and play out another game.
Well, I did it with my intelligence today. I let my brain in Paris.
Looks like the drinks are on you.
Yeah, it's another clear win for Mortimer. This is
I looked it up. It's port. Port with cigars.
port with cigars, yes. In which case, yeah. You see, yeah. So Johan, you see another clear win.
I think Mortimer's probably gonna go get some something to drink again, and I'll see is coming closer. I would say congratulations on a beautiful victory.
Ooh, thank you. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Mortimer Davenport.
You're in Wilhelm.
I offer him my hand to shake. So, what brings you on this journey?
Oh, me and my how do you say, university friend. We are on the way to Constantinople to, mingle with the political establishment a bit. Maybe land a diplomatic appointment.
Well, these are interesting times.
They are
I
indeed.
don't know much about the politics going on at this point, but there seems to be a lot going on everywhere.
I mean, even you must have noticed that there's a new country in the middle of Europe right now.
It sort of creeped up on me, but then it appeared. Yes.
Yes. So there's quite a lot of open spaces for political newcomers like myself, and there might be chances for the future there. So,
Where do you see yourself politically?
I would say
What position would you see yourself in?
I myself am obviously a supporter of the Kaiser. and therefore not one of those that, those ridiculous ones that want to abolish a monarchy or any other ridiculousnesses like that. I myself am a landowner Yunka myself, so therefore this it feels quite absurd, the lengths to which people would go. But there's things that need to be modernized, and
I don't disagree with that.
And therefore, slow steps, keeping the empire stable so it can grow and, become prosperous. Maybe 1 or 2 colonies. We are relatively new, and the other empires of similar strength and size, they all span the globe. So there's stuff to be done.
So you see yourself as a royalist, in effect?
I would say so, yes.
Well, let's drink to that. And I'll raise the glass and...
I'll just bring the glass when you say that. Okay.
I'll say it loud enough so Morgan, anyone else nearby can catch that.
Oh, and you are?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Morgan D. McCreshley.
Johan Wilhelm. Nice to meet you. I'm
Nice to
not
meet
too presumptuous when I'm asking what happened there. It's a very impressive scar that you adorns your face.
I was in the army and I came across a dangerous enemy, and that's what he left me.
I see. Well, and as you're standing in front of him, you'll see like small little scars on Johan's face, like the one that you if you're knowledgeable about studentships, not sure how the correct word is in English, they would give themselves little scars and from pretend duels, stuff like that. So he's got a couple of those. Fraternity is the word. That's the word. There you go. The stays did him just slow in membrane. He's got a couple of those, so...
You've got a few.
Yeah.
You've got a few yourself.
Yeah, those are nothing actually... I mean, they've been acquired in a duel.
Swords?
Indeed. He's got this very ostentatious rapier. A bit of... It looks more like a toy than an actual one, but prestigious weaponry. How valuable it is as an actual weapon, hard to say.
It looks more decorative.
Exactly.
On the other hand, anyone who doesn't know weapons wouldn't know that.
Yep.
Yes. At this point, you notice most of the other guests are excusing themselves. It's getting late. Lady Viola closes the piano lid and makes her way to her room, and Jean gives a little nod towards Mortimer, and then departs. The 3 of you are the last ones remaining.
Looks like we're the last 3 standing, and it is getting rather late.
Indeed. So, I bid you good night, and I will retire to my room.
And I think we'll likely do the same.
Okay. So you retire to your rooms as night falls and the train carries on its journey. And before we go to break, I'm going to ask everyone concerned to make me a power roll here.
Well,
Okay, so we will find out exactly what that means. So, yes, before the break, the members of the society were taking a train across Europe. And along the way, they've met various travelling companions, including a German diplomat called Johann Wilhelm. Am I saying that right? Johann Wilhelm? Johann
Yep.
Wilhelm. No, I can't. Johann Wilhelm. And yes, you'd all retired for the night. And as you drift down into sleep, Mortimer, you find yourself troubled by a disturbing dream once more. You're back where you were the night before. Held fast down as this masked figure looms over you. You can hear the chant in the background. Praise to the Skin Lord. And as he leans down, you can see this mask, this strange bluish ceramic with these strange patterns on it, are unreadable. Your mind can't focus on them, but they do seem familiar.
Do I see anything else in the room if I try to look around?
If you look around, you can see this circle of hooded figures. You can just sort of just make them out, sort of tilting your head from side to side as the figure leans down with the knife once more, digging it into your flesh. And I need a sanity roll. Although you have experienced this before, so the consequences might not be quite so bad if you fail.
What do you mean if? It's not a chance of how?
As he leans down as he starts sort of peeling back the skin, you know this is just a dream. You've had this dream before. You're not going to
Oh, it's easy.
be feared by this. How is that a hard success? You have a sanity of 9.
I rolled a 3.
Yeah. And you awake with a start in the dream. Meanwhile, in the next carriage over, Johann, you are woken up by the sound of the door opening. You see Wolfgang in his dressing gown disappearing out into the corridor.
Wait. I'll just turn over. He'll come back after.
And he sticks his head back in. Did you hear that?
What? What? No.
I thought I heard a noise.
We are in a train.
No, not like a train noise, like a non-train noise. So I'll be right back.
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't break something.
I won't. And you see him just pad off along the corridor.
I'll take a look at the clock.
It looks to be about 1 in the morning.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm turning around.
So you turn around. You and Mortimer, who is now awake, hear a scream come from the direction of the salon car. A man's scream suddenly cut short.
Oh,
And Johan, that sounded quite a lot like Wolfgang's voice.
Yeah, I'm
Maddie
jumping
and
up and grabbing
Morgan.
this.
Give
I'll
me a
wake.
sleep listen check here. Let's see if you hear this. If it's enough to wake you.
I'm awake, so I wake Morgan either way.
Okay,
I will
so
do as well because my background.
So Maddie, you're still asleep. Morgan, you sort of startled awake by this noise to find like Mortimer there sort of shaking you awake too as you hear the end of this scream. Johan, you are already sort of up and awake. What are you doing?
I'm grabbing my rapier and moving out there and trying to find Wolfgang, trying to find what happened find out what happened.
Okay, as you open the door to the salon car, you see the strangest of sights. You see Wolfgang suspended in mid-air, off the ground, was held like a marionette on strings. And you see above him these pale, almost wispy tendrils in the air, and you hear this soft laughter, almost this little tittering laugh. And I need a sanity roll from you, as you can hear footsteps behind you, as Morgan and Mortimer, yours is a little...
Mortimer would have knocked on Maddie's door.
Okay, you're not
The
knocking.
next
You're
door.
knocking on
I've
Maddie's door.
just run off. I would have knocked on the door to wake her.
Okay, so you're knocking on Maddie's door.
And I
So-
have a large knife in my hand.
So Mortimer's gone to wake Maddie. What's Morgan doing?
I'm going to where the scream came from, and to encounter Johan.
Okay, so you will be there in just a sec. Johan, as you see this Wolfgang suspended in the air, this seems almost like a nightmare, but you're not dreaming. This is the waking world. You stagger a step backwards, and I need you to roll me 1d10, please, as you stagger backwards into the man who's just stepped into the doorway of the salon car. Morgan, as you step round, you see in the dim light of the salon car, you see a figure suspended in an air. Johan, I need an intelligence roll from you, please. As you can see these pale... Well, not really pale, these fine tendrils in the air. You hear this little tittering laughter. Morgan, I need a sanity roll from you. Johan, you lose 5 points of sanity, but you're otherwise... you snap out of it as you stumble back into Morgan.
Have I seen this creature before?
No.
Nope.
You can't really... There's not really a creature to see as it is. You can just see this
Oh,
figure
this
suspended.
Yeah, but
in...
this kind of manifestation, I would say.
No, this is
All right.
unfamiliar to you. Please roll me 1d10, please. As this... There's a thud as Wolfgang's body is dropped down, limp and lifeless. You only lose 2 points of sanity, Morgan, as the body thuds to the ground and his tittering laughter rings out through the space. Maddie, you're woken to a sound of knocking on your cabin door.
I put on my dressing gown and crack the door open. Yes?
There was a scream towards the direction of the salon. Thought it best to wake you. Sounds like a man I don't know who. But Morgan's already headed that way. I thought it best to get everyone up.
Did you want me to join you, or should I just stay awake here?
Your choice. I thought it best that you were aware of what had just happened either way, just in case it's part of something bigger that's going on. But,
All right, I'll be out in just a minute. Keeper, do the windows in the cabins open?
They probably slide up a bit to let some air in.
Okay. After Mortimer leaves, I'm going to shut and lock the door. I am going to pull out my bloody dress from the bottom of my trunk, and I'm going to shove it out the window.
Okay. So as it flutters off, I'd like a look roll from you, please, Maddie.
Fail.
So you see as the dress flutters out the window, and I'm trying to think which way is the front of the train. You see as it starts to flutter down, and it catches on the side of the train outside the window a few cabins down from you. Probably somewhere outside of the cabins, like 13 or 14. You can just see this bloody dress caught on the outside of the train. Fluttering in the wind.
Oh my god, this is really gonna terrify people. Okay, in that
I'm
case...
going to ask, is it a white dress by any chance? Thinking of ghost stories and that sort of thing. The bloody white dress in there.
No, I think that dress was greenish color, but there was a white undergarment with it that was also bloodied.
Yeah, so this is pale white and green apparition fluttering outside someone's cabin window.
Just after a scream.
After a scream.
Just after a scream, yes.
So we'll get back to that in a moment. And so Mortimer, you're heading over to the others, but you...
Yes, I'd grab my medical bag from my room before I head there. Just
it has been some time, so we'll find out what has happened in that intervening time period. So, back to Morgan, Johan, and the salon car. You can
So
hear
Wolfgang's has fallen down from where he was floating.
He landed limply.
I'll run up
ground.
and check him, trying to find out what the fuck happened.
Give me a first aid or medicine roll. As you run up underneath, you can hear laughter in the air, in the dark shadows of the car. Morgan, what are you doing? You've seen Johan run up to his fallen friend on the ground. You're there, in the doorway. There's something here. You can see these vague, sort of fine lines almost in the air, wisps. Johan is just like sort of little sort of panicked in the moment. It's hard to be sure of anything, and
I'll yell for a doctor.
But then you feel something grabbing hold of you. It's what do you feel from above you? You feel it sort of reach down to grasp at you, something unseen in the darkness. If you want to try and fight back against this or dodge out of its way, out of the grasp of whatever is reaching for you, you can do.
No, knowing Morgan, he will fight. So
this is Johan.
Johan.
Ran forward. You.
Sorry.
So Johan, what would you like to do?
If something's grabbing me from behind, I'll probably from above.
From above.
I'll probably try and grab and pull whatever it is.
Yeah,
assuming that it's something corporeal.
Roll, please.
Oh, we can't grab something that isn't really there.
No, but it does not seem to. Whatever is really not there does not seem to be able to fully grab you. Morgan, from your position, you can see your hand run over to his friend. And you see him struggling, grasping at something you can't really see in the air. What are you doing, Morgan?
So I see Johan try to attack something. That's it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to follow my instinct, and knowing what I know about everything, what I encounter, I'm going to attack with my knife I have in hand at the same place Johan tried to stab.
Okay, you have a penalty die as you're slashing at something you cannot see.
Of course.
In the
So, roll purple.
Your knife doesn't seem to make contact with anything. You hear this sort of laughter. Something pulls back and away from you. There seems to be nothing there. The laughter fading away. Mortimer, it's this point that you arrive at the door to the salon car. You see Morgan with a knife slashing at the air. You hear this tittering laughter, and you see Johan down on the ground beside Wolfgang, sprawled form.
I'll rush straight to the person on the floor to check him over, see if he's alive, that sort of thing.
You are enough of a doctor to know that this man is. Well, actually, heat at the moment. I'm still going to ask for a medicine roll. I'll give you a bonus die because it's for something. Yeah. Even experienced, doctors can make a mistake in the heat at the moment, but yeah, he's dead. Very recently dead.
Could I tell how he's died, or?
With a hard success, as you start to look him over, you can see this sanguinated pallor, this bloodless look to him. He lies limply there. It's almost like someone has drained the blood from his body. But there's no sign of any wound and no sign of any blood pooled around him. As if what you hear a scream from further down the train. A panicked scream.
Well, it looks like this gentleman's died, but I can't see what may have caused his death.
No. That can't.
Just to clarify, you heard the scream back from the sleeping carriages, yeah.
Probably head that way.
I'll try to wake up Wolfgang.
He does not wake. So as you try to wake Mortimer, as you come go running back down the train, you see the gentleman who had all the paperwork come stumbling out of his room in his nightshirt with a look of panic. Like, there's a ghost! There's a ghost!
What's happened?
There's a ghost! I saw it out there.
I'll have a look through there, so I'll have a look.
As you peer out through the window, give me a spot hidden, and actually make me a luck roll as well.
Spot hidden first. Luck is we get hearts.
As you look out, there's absolutely nothing to be seen out there. Maddie, from your position, you see like another gust of wind rip the dress off, and it billows off into the night.
There's nothing.
Maddie, if anybody had been awake if anybody had been awake walking past my room or anything right when I saw that it caught, they would have heard a very unfeminine sound coming from her room. As if sailors had suddenly descended into the room and then left.
It's probably just something blowing past the window. I wouldn't worry about it. There's nothing there.
I had laughed. Somebody screamed.
believe there's been some sort of incident in the salon, just along that sense.
I'll get the conductor.
I think it's probably best we should get the conductor straight away.
Yeah, I'll go get the conductor.
I'll go and check on the gentleman in the salon, and I'll head back that way.
Okay. Back in the salon.
Yeah, well, I'll probably take a seat and just stare at the dead body of my friend there.
Do you have any idea what happened?
I don't know. He heard something and left the cabin, and I turned over because it's 1 a.m.
I'm going to ask for another sanity roll from Johan. This is not relating to eldritch entities. This is more related to the fact that it's now sinking in. Well, it's sinking in that is Wolfgang's body and he is dead, but in this moment, you're holding it together.
Yeah, discipline. Important. And he left, saying he heard something, and I was just turning over, and then he suddenly screamed. And so I got out of bed, grabbed the rapier because I was thinking maybe somebody entered the train to rob us or something, and moved up here, and he was floating there, like must have missed. He was floating. I clearly saw he was floating.
You mean like in midair, just flying there?
Yeah, like
He was.
like in a pond, in a clear pond when you're like.
He was like a like a puppet. Like he was in the air, like a puppet. I don't know. I can't explain. When you see his.
I've never heard of anything like that before, but
Something grabbed at me when I was there, I think.
it's probably not the best idea to tell people that he was floating in midair. People would think you were mad.
Maybe I am. Don't think that I am, though.
Maybe we're all mad here. But yes, we'll have to be. I think we'll have to be careful what we say. But this is the first time I've seen anything like this before. Keeper,
Yes?
would I have any knowledge about anything that drains blood from people? Mythos-wise.
I mean, not mythos-wise. There's a
Is it
strong
like
candidate.
vampire-type
You've
story?
been reading the Penny Dreadfuls of Varney the Vampire. And
Probably would have checked when I noticed he had been drained whether he had any bite marks on him, just because.
if you're looking for bite marks, like rather than wounds, give me another medicine roll or a spot hidden.
Extreme success on the medicine.
There are small puncture marks in like the back of his neck, around his neck, on some of the exposed flesh of his arms, but the largest ones are in his neck.
Quite a
Like
few
small puncture
punctures.
marks, yes.
Would it be
About
like
the size of like a sharp knitting needle, or
is there any sort of pattern to these actual punctures?
not
I'm
particularly,
thinking
no.
I'm just trying to work out whether it's like tentacles or like on an octopus or anything, like the suckers on an octopus or
I don't think you're familiar enough with octopus sucker patterns to know.
no.
But
I'm
it doesn't
presuming
seem
there's
to follow
sort of
any pattern that you're aware of, no.
Do I know? I probably wouldn't know. Would I know of any creature that could do this?
Give me a mythos roll, you might as well.
Strange things.
Go for it. Meanwhile, Maddie, are you still in your room?
Once I saw that the dress flew off, I took off my dressing robe and put on the clothes I had been wearing through the previous day, and am coming out of my room and heading towards the salon car.
Okay, so you're heading onto the salon car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you probably enter the see Mortimer crouched over this body. Johan, I think you said you sat down in one of the chairs. And what's Morgan doing in this moment?
Honestly, I'm going to check for security. I'm going to check because I heard the sounds of the creature, and I'm really attentive to be sure that the creature is not coming back.
Okay, so you're just listening out for it, or are you listening for it? Okay.
I'm listening to the people around me, but I'm still attentive for at everything what's going on.
Give me a listen check then, please.
Hard success.
Okay, so first of all, Mortimer, as you're sort of crouched down over his body, you do recall a mention in one of the books. I don't know which book you read. It's the Vermis Mysterialis?
Yes.
A brief mention in there of a creature that drains the blood from its victims and can only be seen when it is sated.
This isn't tied in with the invisible servant spell by any chance, is it?
They didn't explicitly say it was, but they were in the same chapter.
But basically, there was reference to a creature that could only be seen when it was fully sated.
Yes.
Would that have matched with the laughter as well?
It didn't mention any laughter. It just said that an invisible creature summoned as a familiar by foul sorcery, visible only when sated.
That's okay. I'll keep that to myself for now.
Morgan, you do hear the soft, ring laughter. It seems to be coming from the direction of the dining car, further the next car along into the train.
I'm going to follow the sound, of course.
Okay, so you are leaving the others and following the sound into the dining car.
Yeah, but I'm still going to, when I'm leaving, I'm going to do a check to Mortimer, saying, show him that I'm still here something, and I'm going to tell him that I'm leaving. I'm following the sound.
I'll probably follow as well.
Should I stay here?
Had you come to the same carriage?
I've just arrived.
He's just arrived in the salon car.
I'll probably actually, whilst with Maddie here, it's only us basically here, Morgan, Johan, and Maddie and myself here at the moment, I'm guessing, and the body. I'll point out to Maddie where the neck injury, like the punctures on the neck and the wrists are.
Mm-hmm.
And this gentleman was suspended in mid-air, apparently. When I arrived, and there was some sort of laughter.
Any suspect?
I have an idea what it might have been, but it shouldn't be here, if it's what I think it could be.
You know who did?
I don't know who, but there's stories I've read of creatures that can do this sort of thing. And they only become visible when they're fully fed.
Then nobody should be left alone.
That's why I'm going to follow Morgan to make sure.
I'll stay here with this gentleman.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there. The points where Dr. Davenport has pointed out that there's holes, punctuations, do they fit with where Wolfgang was suspended?
Yes, you remember seeing those very sort of fine tendrils you could just make out in the air, and definitely, yeah, you think so, yeah.
So he was suspended there. Weird.
He was suspended in the air by something? Threads?
Yeah, it looked like twine, maybe. Like very thin, almost invisible.
All right. And did you see what happened to the twine or the threads after he fell?
No, I didn't even see them really.
Mm-hmm.
I went there and something tried to grab me.
Mm.
And I tried to pull it, but it was gone by then.
So,
The be on your guard. It might return.
I'll take my rapier and just put it like across my lap. And just still stare like 1,000 yards stare into Wolfgang's body.
okay. So, Mortimer and Morgan, you enter the dining car. It is dark in there. You hear the rattle of the train engine. Well, the train on the tracks. You can hear the sounds of the wind in the night outside, and you can hear this soft tittering laughter echoing through the air. It's in here with you. In the dark. Can't see it. See moonlight coming in through the train windows, but other than that, it's dark in here.
So this is the restaurant cart,
Yes, yes,
and the next one along will be the baggage cart.
yeah.
Is that where we believe our baggage is?
Actually, that's a good question. Is your baggage all in the baggage car, or are you keeping any important items locked up in your cabins?
I'm under the impression that Maddie may have kept the important one we need to look after with herself. Just because Mortimer would have kept his books of interest in his cabin, just for like reading in the night, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And
But yeah, so you've possibly just got some other clothes. I don't know, you're probably travelling quite lightly compared to some other people here, because you set off from London not originally intending to go all the way to Constantinople.
very true. I was just concerned whether it seemed this noise was heading, this noise was heading towards the baggage cart where our baggage was.
I mean, it could be. It's definitely in here with you. And do either of you have anything you wish to do in this moment?
I think I'll probably try and listen to see if I can locate it. I can't see it. But I'm not actually going to step into the carriage into the dark.
So you're just standing in the doorway of the carriage.
In the doorway, listening to it.
Morgan, what are you doing? You are muted.
I'm going to provoke it.
Okay, how would you like to try and do that?
When I hear the laughter, I'm going to speak at it, saying like, funny. You think it's funny, did you? Wanna dance?
You just hear more laughter from inside the room, and Mortimer, give me a listen roll, please. Let's see if you can place it. Yes. The response to Morgan's taunting seems to be coming from about halfway down the carriage, just before you get to the curtains that lead into the kitchen. Towards the end of the publicly accessible area. Hear this tittering laughter.
It's about halfway down.
Yes.
I'll let Morgan know. If I can point to roughly where I think it is, I will.
I'm going to advance to the place where Mortimer is pointing. So I'm going to this position.
How are you doing? Are you trying to creep up on it? Are you just running at it?
I'm going. I'm not going to creep at it. I'm going to straight at it, but I'm going to be on the ready. Because I know I can't see it. So I'm going to be really be on guard and going slowly and ready to move if I feel the tendrils, because I felt it already.
You've not felt it, no.
I know I didn't feel it, but but I know I can't see it and it can touch me. So I'm going to to advance slowly and be at the ready, but going and see if I can catch something, movements, maybe a camouflage or something.
Okay, give me a spot hidden with a penalty die as you slip closer, because it is dark in here, so your chances of seeing what there is to be seen are very slim. As you move
Logic.
closer, you can hear and you
Hard success.
see it. As the train sort of turns the corner on the track and the moonlight filters in, you see sort of suspended in the air these palish, couple of pale tendrils, but more you're seeing almost these thin red lines in the air. It's like a network of veins just hanging there. The body itself unseen.
Will I be able to dash at it and try to take a hit?
You can try and take a swing at it. You can see it. You know where it is for an instant. I won't give you a penalty for this one.
Fighting brawl.
It is going to try.
Hard success.
Fight back, but your hard success beats its general attack. So roll me how much damage your knife would do if you have it. Not
so I have one. It's 1d8 plus 1d4 plus 1.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm going to.
Brutal knife.
It's a large knife.
It's a massive knife.
Yeah.
So you take a swing at it. You hear this noise from the air.
The first one. Second. Seven in total.
Okay, you hear this thing and you see it pulls back away from you, back into the darkened shadows, towards the back of the carriage. Mortimer, you see Morgan make this swing. You see what Morgan would see, you're closer to it, is this small splattering of blood across the white tablecloth nearby. Just a few droplets scattered. Mortimer, you have an instant to do something if you wish. Just the briefest of instants.
The only attack I could choose to do at this point would be to cast Black Words.
You said you don't have to do anything.
Which is exactly what I'm going to do. Is I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to monitor the situation and edge ready to help, because Mortimer knows his mind's cracking and things aren't desperate at the moment. But are there any objects around that could be used as a weapon?
Yeah, they've laid out the dining service ready for breakfast.
I'll probably grab a steak knife or something along those lines. Just something.
Steak for breakfast? Actually, I don't know whether the Victorians might have actually gone for steak for breakfast. So
I suspect
yeah,
they might have laid the cutlery for every action just on the off chance.
there's
So
always going
I'd
to be
grab,
one person who wants steak for breakfast.
I wouldn't have time to strike, but I'd probably just grab.
Yeah, you've got a knife, a medium knife, not a large knife.
Sorry.
Essentially, like a medium knife is, decent sized table knife. If anything, it possibly would even be a small knife if it's just a table knife. I think Morgan's is possibly verging on sort of the machete levels of knife.
Yes. At least until I reach the kitchen, then I can get a bigger knife.
Then you can get a bigger knife.
A quick lookup on breakfast for the 1860s is beef steak or pork, eggs, fried potatoes, fruit pie, hotcakes, and coffee.
I was wrong. I apologize. A steak knife is a perfectly reasonable piece of breakfast cutlery. There we go. Yes, so as the creature draws back and away, still tittering in the darkness, we're just going to jump back to the salon car for a moment, where Johan and Maddie are. As you hear two people hurrying towards the car, you hear a man's voice saying, "Yeah, I don't know. He said that someone had been attacked in here. It wasn't very clear, but I went to get you. I wasn't really sure what else to do. In here, I think he said. Oh, heavens above.
Hello. Yes, somebody's been hurt here."
Two people enter. You see, the paperwork gentleman, whose name's still not been introduced, and a man in a conductor's uniform. The conductor looks down in his alarm and hurries over to the body to sort of check.
Mr. Conductor, Dr. Davenport's already checked on that gentleman, and he seems to have died.
Right.
Dr. Davenport and Mr. McCrashley have gone into the dining car to see what might have been in there.
What might have been in there?
Perhaps that is where the attacker or something has gone.
There was a ghost. I saw it. Right. Mom? Sir? Calm down. I'm sure this man has just suffered a medical emergency. There are no ghosts or attackers roaming this train.
Well, definitely a medical emergency. As you see here, and I'm going to gesture to some of the bites, it's possible that it was an allergic reaction or needle points, or I'm not sure, bites.
Right, well, we will, don't worry.
Are any of the other passengers injured or anything?
Not that I know of. I'd ask you, Mom, is remain calm. Make your way back to your cabin. And I will inform other members of staff and we will handle it. So you two, sir. You, sir?
I'm
over to Johan.
I'll stay right here.
You know this? You know him?
They were friends.
Okay, if you wouldn't mind waiting here, I will go and fetch one of my colleagues and we will inform the driver and we will go from there. If you would please return to your cabin now.
I should. He seems to be quite depressed that his friend is the one who's passed away, so I will stay with him.
Give me a charm or a persuade here to see if the conductor is happy with this as a...
Persuade it is? That is a fail.
Mom, I must insist that this is no place for a woman such as yourself in such a situation. I would not feel right leaving you here.
Very well. After you, please. You've business, I will follow.
Yes, and he turns to leave, and it's up to you whether you actually do follow him or not.
I make as if to follow him and will stop short of the door. I will not leave Johann alone because of what I know.
The other man kind of hovers in the doorway. Do you want me to stay as well? I don't mind. Why?
If you would like, is the bar locked?
No.
I will make my way around, and I will pour a hefty serving of whiskey for the gentleman who had the paperwork, and I will pour a serving for Johann as well.
Thank you. Timothy Rosewood.
Mr. Rosewood, pleasure to meet you. I'm Miss Maddie Carter.
Pleasure. And as he takes a massive swig of the offered drink, we hop back to the dining car. As the laughing creature draws back away from Morgan. And out of sight in the dark once more.
Keeper, what I
Yes?
remembered about this creature, what do I know about it?
You know that it is a foul familiar summoned by sorcerers, and it is invisible until fully stated.
I don't know anything about weaknesses or anything like that.
Not from what you read, no.
Okay, I was just double checking.
If you had time to study, and you know that there's was probably more in the books, but it's just you'd have to go and get the book and study it.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just being careful.
So are you still standing in the doorway? You're still staying back.
Oh, if Morgan's gone into the room, I will have followed him, so I'm close by to assist if he's attacked. But I'm letting the person capable of fighting take the lead, and I'll just hang back, and if things get desperate, I can always use black words, as I said. But I'm playing it safe. There's nothing else I can cast, so...
The laughter echoes around the dark carriage. And I'd like both of you to make me a luck roll, please.
Luck roll.
Yeah.
Looks like
Making some
I'm
decisions
losing
with
this
the dice here.
Hard success.
Okay, so you hear the laughter echo around, and then Mortimer, you feel this cold touch on the back of your neck, and then the lashing out of these tendrils trying to grasp and grab hold of you. You can try and fight your way free and fight back against it, or just dodge and try and just get out of the way. The choice is yours.
Let's have a look. Ooh, that's quite close. I'll probably try to just basically drop and roll as soon as I feel it making contact.
Try and sort of
Try and
dodge
dodge.
your way out of here, yeah? Oh, hard success. The laughter echoes around again as you roll out the way of this unseen assailant. There's a clatter of a chair being knocked over.
I'll probably do a very unmanly scream at some point.
With the hard success of my luck, will I be able to see the creature attack Mortimer or not?
Yeah, I'll say you're lucky enough to just catch a glimpse of it moving through the air. So, Mortimer, I don't think I've asked you to make a sanity roll on this yet.
You haven't.
I haven't. Would you make me a sanity roll on this? You know it's there. You feel its presence. You still can't really see it in the darkness, but you felt its touch.
I'm guessing I get no bonus dice on this at all.
No, it's a sanity. When do I ever give bonus dice on sanity rolls?
Just being helpful.
Come on, I'm not getting soft. Oh, so yeah, as you roll out this way, you feel the slither, the last touch of these fine tendrils across your skin, and oh boy, is it again? It was 1d10, wasn't it, this creature?
It was. I've got my
Physical
insanity.
creature trying to drain the very blood from your body.
So 1d10.
Yeah.
This could be very bad.
This could be-
I've got my insanity.
This could be really bad.
5. But it drops me below my limit.
Yes. Roll me 1d10, please. As you roll out the way, Mortimer, like, you feel it brushing cold against your skin. Morgan, you catch a glimpse of this creature once more in the moonlight. And, well, we had this one last time, but you know what? Actually, it fits. And as this tittering laughter fills the space, Mortimer begins to echo it with laughter of his own.
Keeper,
Yes?
do we hear his scream first and then his laughter from the other car?
Give me a listen roll. The train's quite noisy.
That's a success.
Yeah, there does seem to be. You hear a surprised scream, a chair falling over, and it sounds like people. You hear like them laughter. It's like a drunken sort of wild laughter.
Probably the same laughter Maddie recognises from in the house.
In that case, I'm going to place the bottle that I used to pour the whiskey for the two gentlemen next to his name was Timothy Rosewood, you said?
Yes, Tim.
Yes, I'm going to place it next to his cup, and then I'm going to leave from behind the thing, and I'm going to ask Johan, can I use your sword?
And you use it.
Borrow it.
Sure.
I'm going to take it from him unsheathed. You know, if he's handing out
The scabbard.
the scabbard, I'm just going to take the blade. I'm not going to take the scabbard, and I'm going to go into the other room.
Okay, so Maddie has a sword now as she enters
Sure hope that was not a stupid idea.
the other room. Mortimer sort of incapacitated with laughter. But Morgan, you have an instant to do something before the creature does.
I'm going to attack it, of course.
Okay, you can still you know where it is, so you've not got a penalty die. So go ahead.
Oh.
This time your blade does not connect and miss it, and you can hear the movement. You see Maddie appear in the doorway, but before Maddie has a chance to do anything, the creature lashes out for Morgan. And Morgan, you can try and fight back against this, or you can try and just dodge out the way of this.
I'm a fighter. I'm going to fight it.
And Maddie, could you give me a luck roll?
Sorry, that's a fail.
Okay, so as the moonlight streaming into the train illuminates this creature, as it illuminates these fine web of palish red lines as it latches on to Morgan.
Okay, and I see this.
Yes, so I need a sanity roll from you, please. As it
That is a
latches
fail.
on to Morgan, please roll me 1d10. I've lost my page, so bear with me.
That is a 7.
Just 1 moment. Is that take you down below your daily limit of...
The daily limit's 5, right?
No, it's 20% of what your sanity was, so that was 30, so that would be... Yes, it does. Please roll me 1d10. As...
And that's a 2. So how much sanity do I lose?
You lose 7 points of
I
sanity.
lose 7.
And
Okay,
we'll
so
get
that
to what
puts me...
happens in just a moment. Morgan, as you're seized in the air, you feel it starts to drain at you, but for now you've not actually taken any damage. You're just held a bit up as it starts to lift you up off the ground, digging in these tendrils and sort of across your arms like wrapping round and digging into your flesh. And I hate number 2. Can you roll again, please, Maddie? Sorry. I need to replace number 2 on the list with something else because I just.
A number 1.
Oh, that's always an interesting one. Is this dream? Is this a memory? Why are you on a train?
Have I forgotten?
You've forgotten why you're on a train. You've forgotten where you're going.
I'm going to look around where I'm at.
Morgan hanging in the air. Mortimer, like, half underneath a table, laughing.
I'm confused, I guess. But a man hanging in the air should not be. So I am going to look for a pair of scissors. I see threads on him, right?
Yes, yeah, these fine tendril-like threads, reddish coloured, hanging in the air. You don't have any scissors, but you do have a sword. You look down.
I have a sword. I'm going to slice at the threads.
Okay, give me a fighting brawl.
Uh-oh.
Can I spend the luck?
Yes,
please?
that would be 24 points of luck if you wish to spend it.
Yes, I would like to spend the 24 points of luck. And that brings me from 36 to...
12.
Thank you, 12.
Okay, so yes, you slash through the air at these fine tendrils, and we just... Well, since I've had to use sword. This is a rapier, right? A medium sword.
I don't know anything about it, but Johan earlier said it was 1d10, 1d4 plus 1?
A sword should be one. This sword should be 1d6 plus your damage bonus. For future reference, a large knife is 1d8 plus a damage bonus, no additional plus 1.
Okay. So in this case, this is going to be just a 1d8.
The plus 1 is for my build, actually.
Yeah, but that is your damage bonus.
Okay.
Your build gives you your damage bonus.
Okay.
So if you've got a 1d4 as your damage bonus, you don't also add build.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. But that's how I read it. So okay. Thanks.
Okay, so I get 1d8. Is that correct?
1d6, I believe this is a rapier.
Yes.
Yes, 1d6.
That's 2.
Okay, you slash at it, and it's enough to sort of send Morgan tumbling down to the ground. Morgan, you have a moment to do something as you tumble downwards.
Once I tumble down, I try to put myself up and attack from the last point.
Okay, you've got a penalty as you kind of tumble down to the ground. You're not in the best position here.
Normal.
Go for it.
Fail.
No.
Damn it.
Your blade, your knife does not connect, but the lashing tendrils of the creature do connect with you. And this time it's not trying to suspend you. It's just lashing out at you, just attacking you. I do keep closing this page and opening it again. I do apologise for that. I'm going to put my bookmark in it. And yes, that's not quite so bad as the other one. You take 5 points of damage as it just slices across you, a splattering of blood across these beautiful linen tablecloths. And is that how many hit points do you have total?
Depends. I have 12, but I
Total-
was
yeah.
hurt, so I don't know how many I had when we
No,
started.
that's alright. It's just whether you had, if you've got more than 10 total, this is not a major wound, but it's still severe damage. And it's 2 rounds, 1 round. Mortimer, please roll me another d10. This is just for how long you're going to be incapacitated. You might be up and about now, or you might not be. You're up! Maddie slashes Morgan free. Morgan falls to the ground. Morgan slashes it with the knife, but misses, and the creature slashes out at Morgan in return. Mortimer, what are you doing? Mortimer?
Yeah, I forgot to mute. Well, unmute, I should say.
Yes.
Yes, I'll try and slash at it if I'm close enough to.
Alright, yeah. Give me a fighting brawl with your little knife. I'll look up
That's not
quickly what a steak knife counts.
It's fighting brawl. Let's see. Success.
I'll call this a medium knife. Yeah, let's see. It has already fought back, so it's doing this. Oh yeah. Yes, you managed to connect with your knife. And that will be 1d4 plus 2 plus any damage bonus you have. And Johan, you can hear this commotion going on from the next carriage. Timothy is standing at the bar with his drained glass in hand, just staring that direction, like...
We should probably go help.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
After you?
Yeah, sure. I'm grabbing... There's a bar, right?
Yes.
So... That's probably a larger knife to cut, like, lemons and stuff.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna take that off of the bar and just slowly and confusedly walk towards the whatever is going on there.
Yes, as you... And Timothy is behind you.
Yeah, I thought so.
Timidly following you into the dining car, where I believe we're back round to the creature's turn. That was just its fighting back. And it's going to go for Mortimer this time, as it tries to grab at him and lift him up. As you feel these tendrils start to brush against you, trying to pick you up and haul you up. You can dodge or fight back.
Dodged but failed.
You feel yourself suspended up into the air. Maddie's next. You see it grabbed it up at Mortimer this time, lifting him up, preparing. Mortimer, you feel it start to try and get its tendrils into you.
I'm just gonna do the same thing that I did. Slice at the tendrils.
Okay, go for it. Give me a slice.
All right. That's a success. And then you said it was a 1d6. Correct?
It can't really dodge. It's holding Mortimer. So yes, 1d6. Fair.
And that's another 2 damage.
Yeah, is it? Mortimer just tumble down to the floor. The laughter sounds angrier now. More pained, less taunting, more
Angry
inhuman.
laughter.
Yes. And next up, I believe, is Morgan. Then we'll get on to Johan.
Yeah. We're not going to stop on the... He hurt me, so I'm a little angry at it, so... Going to try to stab it again.
Okay. You don't have a penalty this time. You've had a chance to recover from your tumble to the ground. standard roll. But you fail to hit it, and Johan, as you peer into the door, you can see essentially 3 people slashing at the air with various bladed weapons. You can't really quite make out, especially from this distance and in this light, what it is they're fighting, but it does look like 3 people fighting an invisible creature.
Is there is lighting in this cabin, right? That you could technically, probably
Yeah.
even electrical lights. So
Electrical lights do exist, right? Yes. So, I'm going to be honest and say I don't know the correct form of lighting for the 1889 Orient Express. We'll say it's electric for now and correct it
later.
if needed later.
Well, I'm trying
Also
to
not looking at
engage the lights.
imagining gas lights ever again.
Yeah, I mean, I thought gas lights on a train might be stupid, but I'm not sure. I'm engaging the lighting, however that is.
Okay, as you light this space up, it's a bit easier to see, and as I said, it's fed a little bit now. You can see these reddish tendrils in the air. Timothy behind you lets out this little shriek and goes, "It's a ghost! I told you!" And then just collapses down to the ground in a dead faint.
Do I have? Can I get to wherever that weird tendril
Not really now.
is?
This is all happening very fast. Mortimer, over to you. The lights are now on. You can see better the chaos that's in. There's blood splattered across the tablecloth. Morgan's been injured.
I'll probably try and.
Maddie has a sword.
How close am I to the kitchen?
Pretty close.
I'll try and grab a bigger knife.
Okay, yeah, if you want to give me a spot hidden to see if you can find. You've got a fairly decently sized knife, but
Extreme success.
you find a knife that's almost as big as Morgan's knife. Like this.
Can't it just be an inch bigger? It's an extreme.
Half an inch. Like, yeah,
Oh.
no, for an extreme, it's like a little tiny bit bigger than Morgan's knife.
Close to, at
You
least.
don't have time to measure it in the moment.
No. But do I have time to attack with it or not? No. But that'll be my action.
Yes, that brings us. I'm trying to remember my order here. I've written it down where we started. I believe that brings us round to the creature itself. As it gives up all pretense of trying to grab anyone. And I need a look roll from the 3 people nearby as to who it's going to lash at. Because I don't believe in favoritism. I believe in making the dice culpable for my actions.
We all
Okay.
failed.
You all failed, but the greatest failure there. Oh, do I go for the greatest failure or the unluckiest person? You know what? I'm going to go for the unluckiest person.
Damn.
Maddie lashes out towards you. These tendrils whipping through the air at you. You can try and fight back and sort of strike them with your blade or dodge out of the way.
I do want to fight back, so that's the fighting brawl, correct?
Yes.
That's a success. Hard.
Hey! Alright. As it slashes out towards you, you sweep through the air with the sword. Give me the damage of the sword. That was 1d6.
That's a 5.
That is enough as it lashes out towards you in this last mad effort to strike at you. You swipe through the air, and it's all coming back to you now. You remember why you were here, you think?
Maybe?
It's probably not your sword.
No.
As there's this almost like popping noise, like a water balloon, this splattering burst of fine droplets of blood scattered across the walls, the floor, and all nearby surfaces. And the laughter ceases. The lashing tendrils are gone.
I'm covered in it, aren't I?
Yes, and you're left
It's
blinking
like the
in
water
the now
balloon.
brightly illuminated carriage, and yes, you're covered in blood again.
All of us.
Yeah, all of you.
Oh crap. At least it's not burning.
That's true.
I would
Damn.
really like an explanation of what I am walking in here right now.
Do you
I
want?
mean, this guy just fell over, but
We fight unnatural beings, and this so happens to be one of them, and we just killed it.
Do you want an explanation, or do you want what we're going to tell everyone that happened here?
I want the explanation.
I just
And
gave
then
it
I'll
to
be
you.
then I'll be telling everybody the same story that you're going to be telling me. But
Well,
so you're saying unnatural creatures.
you heard the
Mhm.
laughter, didn't you?
Think so?
Well, there was a strange invisible creature that was laughing. And if anyone asks, we heard laughter coming from his carriage, which is why we headed in this direction. And someone obviously must have thrown some sort of balloon at us with blood, or some sort of vessel with blood. Hence the reason we're all covered now. I think that's the best explanation we can give to anyone. And I believe the person responsible must have headed off into the baggage carriage and further into the train. Which isn't the full truth, but we'll have to be careful how it looks because we're covered in blood.
Yeah.
Here's your sword back. Thank you.
We probably should head to the conductor, but I'd rather clean myself up beforehand, but I suspect that's not going to happen.
You can hear already the footsteps of someone in the carriage next door. You hear a voice go, oh, I left his friend was here when I left. I don't know where he went.
Did the
maybe-
blood hit me as well, or just the three of them?
No, you were far enough back at the lighting
I'll-
control that you
I
are
think
not
that's
covered in blood.
explosion everywhere.
I'll hold him off. I'm just going back to the room.
Oh,
And yeah.
there you are, sir.
Did you find something out? Did you find somebody?
We've this is the train's official doctor.
Yeah. Can you take a look? The other man, he said he was, and I'll just shove him towards the body and try to get the others involved, to get nobody to walk past, to give the others the time.
Yeah, it's
So-
just the conductor and the doctor, because the theory the conductor's running on is still that this is just a medical incident,
Yeah.
not an invisible blood-sucking creature.
Yeah.
Or a
I'll
ghost.
tell the same story that I've told everybody until now. I'm just gonna leave out the floaty bits.
Oh, well, it seems that okay, maybe does your friend have a heart condition or
Not that I'm aware.
medical? Look, we will. When the train next stops, we will take the body off the train and we will do what we can.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will give you the address of his family.
Yes,
And
we
I'll
will
just-
of course also refund the tickets.
I don't really care.
So I'm very sorry for your loss. This is we will company will be in touch to arrange suitable compensation and
just
perhaps if we
let somebody look what exactly happened.
yes.
I mean,
yes.
people don't fall over dead for no reason, right?
No, we will ensure a proper post-mortem will be carried out. We will it's just we can't leave him here. Not now.
Not now?
No.
Is there anything happened that makes this somewhat special?
No, we just can't leave a body in the salon.
Yeah,
Orient Express.
Obviously, yeah.
Not.
Yeah. He was the one that pestered me to try Istanbul. The great city, Constantinople. Now he's not gonna even see it. Well, I'll just keep up with like small little memories of him, just to keep the conversation flowing, stall for time.
Give me. I mean, essentially, they don't have any reason yet to go into the dining car or investigate. But I am going to ask for some sort of fast talk, charm, or persuade here to essentially, can you keep them engaged for long enough that none of them even thinks it's about that?
Gonna get charm.
They completely buy this, that there's nothing fishy going on that they need. No, they're very sympathetic with your plight. They will sort of, another member of staff comes and they will take away the body, be placed probably actually in an unused cabin, but then I'm gonna make a big song and dance about where they're putting it because it might upset the other passengers. And then once it's been taken away, they go, is there anything else you need right now, sir?
Yes. Probably an entire bottle of whiskey.
Well, I'll pour you a glass from the bar. I'm sure the barkeep won't mind raiding the cabinet a little.
Yeah, I thought so.
Very sorry that this happens, and
you know,
get some rest, and we will.
You don't seem to be any more responsible than anyone else here.
No, but it's still tragic.
The Lord gives and the Lord takes. And I'll just take 2 glasses and fill the second one up and just shove it into his hand.
They have a drink, and then considering that the situation is resolved, they return the direction down the train that they'd come. Meanwhile, during all this time, in the carriage next door, what are the 3 blood-splattered people in the blood-splattered carriage doing? Well, during probably about an hour that it takes for them to resolve things in the salon car next door.
There is a kitchen here, which probably means running water.
Yes, because there'll be a water tank on this train that will provide.
I would probably take it as an opportunity to wash the blood off my face, my hands, and as much as I can. And chances are I wear a lot of dark anyway. I've probably thrown a dressing gown type thing over everything anyhow, so it's very likely dark coloured. Just basically cleaning myself up so I don't look like I'm covered in blood as much as I can.
Yeah, yes, I think we all would have cleaned up a little bit and attempted to clean up some of the blood that's in in the dining car, off the, floor, and at least make it not so puddly.
It's a good deal. There's probably about a person's worth of blood here.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of blood.
Yeah, Mortimer will just clean himself up and help Morgan and Maddie if they need cleaning up as well, but other than that, he's going to assume the cabin's a lost cause.
Yeah, another ruined dress. I need a new outfit.
Well, at least we're on some sort of shopping trip.
But yeah, with the crime scene still very much a bloody crime scene, but you yourselves perhaps not so obviously covered in blood.
I am going to make a point of cleaning my shoes so I don't leave footprints.
Yeah, we'll clean ourselves up. I mean, Morgan's a PI. He'll have an idea what we need to make sure we don't have on us. And the knife I had, I'm going to throw it out a window.
Yeah.
Because obviously fingerprints, bloodied fingerprints.
This newfangled technology of studying people's fingerprints and solving crimes that way.
Always important to stay ahead of the police.
Yeah.
What am I going to do about the dress? This was my traveling dress.
I'll buy you a new one when we go.
What am I going to wear on the train? They're going to be curious.
I'm assuming there's no shopping facilities on the train anyway.
I don't think it has.
Not at this point.
And
No.
we won't be stopped at train stations long enough to purchase anything that would
Not
be of
unless-
size.
I mean, it will stop for some time. You might
To
have some
restock?
luck. Yeah, you've got to reload and refill water, and it takes a lot longer to handle that sort of thing.
We might be able to convince some of the someone. We'll
And
sort
also,
of
you might end up stopped for a little longer if there is a
a murder.
dead body to resolve.
In all fairness, we could probably try and persuade a member of staff to get hold of something for you if we were to pay them at the next, stop.
But yeah, that's probably a matter for tomorrow morning.
Mhm.
By now you can hear the people have left the carriage next door. It seems like your way back to the sleeping cars is clear.
All right.
Mm,
Definitely going to go back to my room and quickly change out of everything.
The first thing you notice as you get back into your room is the place looks like it's been ransacked.
Even if I locked the door before I left?
The door is not locked now. You locked it when you left. It's not locked now. The same goes for Morgan and Mortimer's door.
What's missing?
The suitcase. With the arm.
And the painting?
Not the painting you still got. Unless you put it in the suitcase. Yeah, the suitcase with the arm and the painting is gone.
I will turn around and go right to them and let them know that it's missing.
Well, on the bright side, it's still on the train somewhere.
Is
And there's not many places it could be. It cannot be in the baggage cart. It has to be in someone on the train, basically in one of their carriages, or cabins, I should say. Very likely the person who summoned the creature. I didn't want to mention before. Who's here? Is it just Morgan, Maddie, and Mortimer? At this
yes.
point?
Yeah.
But I do recall something about an invisible creature summoned as like a familiar for sorcerers, which seemed to match this sort of creature we encountered tonight. It was invisible and it drains blood. I haven't had a chance to look it up properly, however, look to see if I can find more information about it. Well, this evening, very likely, seeing we're all wide awake, but
We need to find it before we make to the next stop.
yes,
Indeed.
definitely.
You do. But I think that is going to be a challenge for a future session, as it's getting late. But yes, there's one person dead, a large pool of blood in the dining car, and someone has stolen your suitcase. Who?
He's running out of dresses.
And Maddie is running out of dresses. But we will see if we can get to the bottom of this mystery. Next session, we've got a little whodunit. But that will be in 2 weeks' time. We don't have a session next week. I'm off to do my Christmas shopping. It's very important. Until then, I believe Shanky's taking a break from games at the moment because can't be sat down for long periods of time. So I don't know if there's anything else in the calendar until this time next time we're running. But if there is, it will be mentioned on the Discord. Go there. Don't trust me for information. Trust the Discord. I'm about as good at handing over reliable schedule information as I am of getting my mid-roll operating without technical glitches. Which is to say, really bad. So this gives me 2 weeks to fix that mid-roll. And if there's any mistakes, I've got no excuse. But in between then and now, don't forget, if you're over on the Discord, you can vote to give much needed luck to the people who need an extra hand, who's been having a really bad time of it.
I think we all have.
I mean, you all have. But who's having the worst time of it and needs a helping hand to stop them going utterly insane or being slurped on by interstellar vampires? We will, have a vote on the Discord. And until then, past sessions are available on the Ishval YouTube. Maybe small, maybe big, we'll find out. And until then, thank you very much to my players, and it was good fun to meet a new character. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time, in December. Alright, thank you very much.
Bye.
Good night.